What's going on, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. And I've got two pieces of awesome news this morning. One of them's kind of bittersweet, the other one is just pure awesomeness. So, the mayoral races in New York State were yesterday for Buffalo and New York City. And as you guys know, I've gone over Andrew Yang's psychopathic tweet getting behind Israel and how that made him absolutely plummet in the polls right afterwards. And then since then, he's made some really, really awful remarks about mentally handicapped people as well. And a lot of people were telling me after I was predicting in my video that Andrew Yang was sunk after that tweet. They're like, you guys don't know how it is in New York City. He's going to be just fine. Yeah. LOL. Because it looks like Andrew Yang has dropped out. He was in 4th place for New York City mayoral race with Eric Adams doubling him in the percentage points. And even though they have ranked choice voting in New York City, which is good, that's a good thing that they have that, Andrew is statistically eliminated, basically. That's why he dropped out. I mean, he knows math. He wouldn't drop out unless he knew that he was eliminated, even if ranked choice voting worked in his favor. And it had, in my opinion, everything to do with him moving towards the center, and particularly a few big stumbles along the way, namely that really, really bad reaction to the Israel-Palestine issue. The polls indicated that he was dipping. He had a double-digit lead. I think he was up like 32-15. And he dropped into tied for 3rd. He dropped like 17 points at like 13%, and he never recovered. He got like 11% of the votes right now, and he's out. Statistically eliminated, and he dropped out. Now, there's something we can take from this, and I think it's A, don't fuck with the left, and don't side with Israel because they're obvious genocidal maniacs over there. And the other thing is, part of the reason I think Andrew Yang was so popular to begin with in the polls is because everybody associated him with being kind of lefty because he was the UBI guy. But he abandoned the UBI, moved towards the center, started defending Israel, and oh my God, was the implosion bad. And now Eric Adams doubled him up. Now, let's talk about Buffalo. Great news. A young lady, a nurse and a teacher, I believe, and I did not know who she was. Her name's India Walton, won the mayoral race yesterday, and she is a socialist. She beat four-term incumbent Byron Brown, and she beat him by a lot. I think she beat him by over 2,000 votes. So I'm going to read to you guys real quickly here from SF Gate. You can look this up. This is all over the internet right now. India Walton, a socialist community activist, has defeated the 4-term mayor of Buffalo, Byron Brown, in a Democratic primary, putting her on track to become the first woman to lead New York's 2nd largest city. No, she will be. That's a little bit misleading. There is no Republican running, so she is the mayor. Like, she's not on track to be the mayor. She's the mayor now, or as soon as she takes her seat, but she's won the election because there's no Republican running against her. The 38-year-old nurse and union leader captured a major political prize for the party's left wing with her victory over Mayor Byron Brown. The AP called the race Wednesday after it became clear that there weren't enough absentee ballots for Brown to overcome Walton's lead. She has declared victory Tuesday night. And I just checked on her website, looking at all the issues. She's right on all the issues, guys. She's got some great plans for defunding the police and taking a lot of the burden off the police officers in Buffalo and putting it more on like mental health counselors, trying to take police out of situations where they routinely will use deadly force and end up killing people, whether on accident or on purpose. That's great. She's got a great food assistance rollout program over the next 4 years, where at the end of those 4 years, if she can get it done, everybody in the entire city will have access to healthy, nutritional food. Great idea. And then let me look at the other climate ideas that she has in terms of transforming the infrastructure of Buffalo are second to none in America. Now, they could be better in terms of if we want to go ideologically to the best green town you can possibly have. They still fall short, but they're still pretty darn good, where it has to do with like making sure that we renovate a lot of our existing infrastructure and incentivizing highly to go to e-vehicles, not just personally, like every person that lives in the town, I think they get a tax credit, and there's going to be some emissions changes to incentivize people moving to e-vehicles, but also the infrastructure, like the busing system and stuff like that, can all be converted. And she's looking to do that as well. And she's right on a number of other things, guys. So she won. It wasn't even really that close. They called it early, even before all the absentee ballots came in, because her lead was big enough. She is now the mayor of Buffalo, right next door to NYC. Not really next door. But this is going to be an interesting experiment, guys. And we already learned something from the experiment thus far. And that is thus. If you move more centrist, Andrew Yang, and you side with the wrong people, like the corporatists, you lose. If you run on things that the people want overwhelmingly, and you run unadulterated socialism, you win. But what's really going to be interesting is to see how now India Walton runs her city compared to Eric Adams, who seems to be probably going to be the mayor of New York City. And methinks at the end of these 4 years, NYC is going to get far worse. And you'll see a huge improvement in Buffalo. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch these people and see how the end of the experiment plays out, because this is, I mean, obviously Buffalo and NYC are two different animals, so I don't want to completely equate them. But you're going to see Buffalo get some things done on a slightly smaller scale that is going to be amazing, and you're going to see a lot of people wanting to live in a place like Buffalo versus going to a place that is going to end up like Gotham City with Eric Adams being the mayor of New York City. So let's keep an eye on these two for the next 4 years. I imagine a lot of people in NYC are going to be very, very let down by their mayor, and I think a lot of people in Buffalo are going to be very, very happy with their new mayor. So congratulations to India Walton. Bravo. Let's see if we can keep doing this. I would love to see socialist mayors popping up all over the place. We need more people to run for local office who happen to be of this ideology, because we can get a lot done at the local level. It's just not quite as glamorous as, you know, maybe getting Bernie Sanders as president, or maybe getting a couple of socialist senators in there, which may be actually impossible in today's system. So let's do more governors, mayors, and local officials that are socialists, and we can come in through the back door, and we can help a lot of people. And if anything that she is aspiring to do on her website actually gets done in Buffalo, it's going to be a great place to live. So, awesome news. And Andrew Yang, that tweet is going to be waking him up in the middle of the night, like, for the rest of his life. And his aspirations for running for president now are over, because this was fucking embarrassing. So if you thought that this would be, if Andrew Yang didn't win but came in like a close second, that it would be a good springboard for running again for president, him coming in 4th place and embarrassing himself right here, it's really going to cripple him, because in any debates in the future, if he runs for president again, they're going to be like, dude, you ran for president, you got killed. You ran for mayor, and you got killed even worse. And the only reason he was ever even slightly popular or even put himself on the map in the first place was because he was running on a socialist policy called universal basic income, which he has now abandoned, and he literally just gave himself a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head politically. So we can learn a lesson from Andrew Yang. Don't be Andrew Yang. Keep fighting the good fight out there, guys. I'll see you.